today's episode of Brown Passport, we go to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. My first time on the continent, that is the continent of Africa. And not my first time scuba diving, though. I went with the National Association of Black Scuba Divers, which I happen to be a member. And so I interviewed a few of the folks there that I met, got some good scuba diving in, and rather than hear me ramble about it right now, why don't we just watch the show? Hit the subscribe button on the bottom if you haven't done that already. And be sure to comment below on your feelings, maybe of some situations you had in traveling, or any comments you have about what you watched in the show today. Sitting on in Labuan Bajo, Flores, Indonesia. Actually here to talk more about the experience in Egypt, even though I didn't interview myself too much there. I think I did on a boat a little bit. Debbie, thanks for that, helped me out a bit. And if you turn it, it'll follow you, like that. I can't believe I'm here in Egypt with the National Association of Black Scuba Divers. I just got done tearing up. I'm probably gonna cry again.
I'm the co-founder of the National Association of Black Scuba Divers, okay, which was founded in January 1991 as a result of an article that was published in Ebony magazine about black divers joining, going to sea and emergence on the sea. After the article and we got published, even some of the diving manufacturing companies started using black models and stuff like that within advertising their equipment, because now they begin to see the value of the black market, just like the skiing situation, okay? And so they started, somewhat catering to, blacks and also women being minorities involved skiing. So, in early stages of recreational diving, women had to wear men's wetsuits and stuff like that. But that all changed, started designing things in female colors.
There is so much residual problems now from all of the past. If you don't count the past, you're never going to be able to move forward. Do you feel that besides the NABS trip, I'm sure you've done other trips outside of NABS and all that, for scuba diving. So did you ever feel that you may have been received or treated differently when scuba diving not with NABS?
Absolutely. It's one of those things when you walk into a shop and you start talking to people about scuba diving, they look at you and they don't normally articulate the fact that they think that you might not be, capable or able to do this. But they make it known in some of the verbiage that they use and how they refer to, sort of like, why are you here? And, are you new at this? And the questions that they ask always indicate they're suspicious about either my scuba diving ability or the reason I'm interested and what have you. So I make a point to actually walk in the door and express to them, all the dives I've done and the places around the world that I've dove. And that I have more than 300 dives, and I'm very capable of handling myself in the water.
I am the only lady going on this dive.
Well,
I am
knock it
taking
out. Make us proud.
one for the team. For the ladies.
I got to the hotel. I didn't stay at the hotel with everybody else. And when I got there in the morning, I saw, there were 200 people there. I don't know if all 200 were in the lobby or not, but it kind of seemed like that. And I just saw these brown and black faces, men and women, seemingly equally men and women, really, ready to go diving. It had to be a couple hundred people loading up on maybe 2 or 3 big buses to go down to the docks and get ready for a dive. I was just like, this is cool. I knew that there were about 900 members or so in NABS, the National Association of Black Scuba Divers, but it's something else to when you see that all at once, and knowing that everybody really came there specifically for diving and community to be together was just beyond. I started crying, actually. Not balls of tears, but I definitely felt them rolling down my eyes and had to wipe my face a few times before getting on the bus. Got on the bus, dove with the same couple of people for the first couple of days.
I'm Dr. Albert Jose Jones. co-founder of the National Association of Black Scuba Divers, NABS, and founder of the Underwater Adventure Seekers UAS of Washington, D.C.
Tell me a little bit about the Underwater Adventure Seekers and how that came about and your role in that.
The Underwater Adventure Seekers is one of the 10 oldest dive clubs in the world. It is the oldest black dive club in the world. It was founded in 1959 by me, after I had visited a trade show, as a matter of fact, and was told that no matter if you put your name in the box to take scuba classes, they almost never get back to you. Give me your name and I'll make sure they get back to you. So I finally joined that group, and I said, well, I haven't had any problem with the group. They said, yeah, but you right out of the service and you've been diving all over the world. You know more than they do. This is what I was told. So they are smart enough to know that they can learn from you, but they'll make excuses for any time another black person comes in there. They always seem to not to get back to them. So, but see, there's always somebody who will get back to you. And so I was told, join the council. So I joined the council. As a matter of fact, I became the vice president of the council, Atlantic Skydiving Council. After that, I was told by the same person, why don't you start your own club? He said, there's a whole lot of people approach these other clubs and nobody ever gets back to them. So that's basically why I started it.
My name is Kamal Siddiqui. I'm a lead instructor in Diving with a Purpose and on the board of Diving with a Purpose. What Diving with a Purpose is, we train divers, scuba divers, people who already know how to dive, to do what we call underwater archaeology surveying. They can go out on field missions with these principal investigators on actual shipwreck sites. Myself, I've investigated a number of them across the world. One is on exhibit in the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Under the museum, we work with another collaboration called Slave Rex Project. And so we're a global partner with the Slave Rex Project under the direction of the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
How did you get into, how did you get into diving?
I got into diving because one of my best friends from junior high school became a diver. And her brother-in-law is Dr. Jose Jones, who is the founder of our club. And I traveled with them for starting in the 90s. And took a break, and then I came back, and every year, starting in 2010, I would say, I'm gonna get certified. I'd go on their trips, and then I'd come back home and not do it. But finally, in 2015, I literally took the plunge. And I'm loving it. I guess my family, they like to travel. My sisters, my mother kind of set an example for us. But we didn't do a lot of travel out of the country. It was more within the country where you could drive, take a train, because we didn't have the financial means. That's an extra piece, so by the time you take care of all the basics, what's left over may not be enough to take a trip, say, out of the country. I don't think I got a passport until I was working. I was in my early 20s and finally got out of the country. So.
In your 20s then, did your peers go?
So I have one peer who did backpacking across Europe, but not many of my peers were doing that in the 70s. I think more young people of color are doing that now. They're doing more B&Bs, hostels, and I don't know if we knew about all those different avenues and ways to save money and travel like that. I mean, I was 60 when I had a backpack and one suitcase and went to 5 countries in 15 days. And it was great. And it's like, oh my goodness, maybe if I had been exposed to this and knew about this 20 years ago, I would have done it.
Thank you for tuning in to Brown Passport. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. And I know you liked the video, so hit that like button at the bottom. Also leave a comment in the comments section.